Pasha Pyro, YNet7. Thank you for tuning the replay. All right, we gonna get into it. 1 second. All right, what I want you to know, okay, is despite your belief, where I want to put this at, despite your belief, right? Everyone knows the story of David and Goliath, okay? But what about the Rock's story? All the rocks scattered around doing rock things. One chosen one becomes the weapon in one of the greatest stories ever told. The rock in David's slingshot must have felt held back before being catapulted into heroic history. You may feel down right now. You may be or have been picked on. It may feel like something is holding you back. But when you break free, you will be historic. And all those who talk bad about you won't even be remembered because they are just average. Pasha Pyro, welcome to YNet7. What spurred this? You guys know this is what I learned. Instead of using Facebook and complaining about the population of people and knowledge and stuff, content, what's being blocked, what's being allowed to thrive, I'm able to learn a lot about the illness, the mental illness of humanity just by watching Facebook. And that allows me to come and make this content. Because I have real life examples of how people's thought process is destroying our community. But it feels so good because it's popular. So this post here starts off. This is it. It says, if you don't want your life to be messed up, don't fool around with those who have messed up their lives. It is particularly of human relationships that it is virtually impossible for one individual to have a lasting positive influence upon members of a group of negative thinkers. Now, you guys know, we've already covered it here, how positivity appears negative to negative-minded people. So people that are mentally ill in a society or in a cluster or in a group of people that's all doing the same thing don't understand that they are mentally ill. Right? So when you come with your light, when you come with your positivity, when you shine upon the world, they see something wrong with you. I had someone the other day. I gave him some positive information. Because I like to only deal with leaders, right? Because it's efficient for me. If I'm trying to change the world, I don't have time to go meet everybody in the world. There's 7 billion, 8 billion, some billion people on this planet, so they say. However, if I can get to a person that has 1 million or 100 million apiece and change their influence, change their outlook, it will trickle down. Just like any leadership management changes in your local corporation, company, gang, whatever you want to structure, This is the opportunity we have. So check this out. It says it is a peculiarity, right, of human relationships that it is virtually impossible for one individual to have a lasting positive influence upon members of a group of negative thinkers. The irony of all this is unsurpassed. So it says usually it works the other way. You cannot maintain a positive, productive attitude if you spend all your time with negative people. Those who have wrecked their own lives, and this is the part I really like, and usually blame their misfortune on others, are not the kind of people who will help you achieve success in your own life. Choose your friends and associates carefully and refrain from complaints about your job, your company, or any individual. Spend your time with positive, ambitious people who have a plan for their lives. You will find that their optimism is infectious. Napoleon Hill. Now, at first glance, you got to admit that sounds like some powerful shit. But let's do a diagnosis. Because like I said, if you this right here, especially when it got to the point of and usually blame their misfortune on others, this right here, it sparked this opportunity in me to share, because this is the core of why United States citizens don't understand the concept of being American. But because they don't understand that concept, they're actually the reason why the country is in the state that it's in now. You see, because they're being played off as pawns and they don't realize it, and they really think they part of this positive group when they the negative thinkers. Then you can't access them, because every time you try to bring them to light, they want to say something wrong with you. Like I got a little sidetracked. I said just the other day I went to bring someone some powerful information. I left it in the comments for them, and the response I got was, "Are you angry, bro?" Like, why would I be angry? I've been watching this whole thing play out my whole life in disappointment. That's not anger. It's an opportunity for you to learn something. But because someone is saying something contrary to popular belief, it must be something wrong with that person. Right? They got to be the negative thinker because the group says this is positive. We need to go this way. Destroying everything in the process. But it feels good to be a part of something, don't it? When you're that mentally distracted that you don't realize you don't have a purpose that's positive. You have a purpose that's profitable because you were taught commerce. So it says those who wreck their own lives and usually blame others for their misfortune. All right. Then they go on to say, and not they're not the kind of people who will help you achieve success in your own life. Don't worry, we're gonna break this down. I'm gonna show you the comments thereafter. Then we're gonna get into some real life examples of celebrities, because I know y'all don't appreciate a lot of the closed-minded people. I know everybody that's really flocking to this channel, you're open to process and you are achieving greatness. And a lot of us feel talking to people that are on this journey, they feeling held back right now. They feeling that there's a void going on. They feeling like something's wrong. And I want you to know nothing is wrong with you. You're being loaded when David put that rock, I don't care. I'm not religious, but the story fits. I'm gonna utilize it for you. So when David won, like I said, he had to choose the rock out of all the rocks on the ground. I don't know how many he picked up, a few of them, right? But he had to choose those rocks out of all the ones scattered. See, they were all down there doing rock things, thinking they were the rock shit. Then a few of them got elevated. They ascended. They had a higher purpose, so to speak, than the rest of the rocks. But then, after being carried off to somewhere, wherever the battle went down at, they had to be loaded. And I don't care if you loading a rock in a slingshot, a 9 milli, and you gotta pull the slide back, or you got your 5.56 and you got that crossbow. You gotta pull that shit back. You gotta hold it back first before you can load it into position to take the to take the shot. Fuck it. I ain't gonna do it to y'all. You gotta load the shit. To load it, you gotta pull it back. We ain't talking about no revolver, but even on the revolver, you still gotta pull the hammer back. Or you still got to squeeze the trigger on the double action. The hammer is going to come back. The trigger has to be held back. You have to be held back before you can take any great shot. This is what my people are going through right now. See, look, let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. Cause this ignorance has to stop, man. This is what's destroying everything. So I responded, I know what you're intending to say. See, I never demonize nobody for their ignorance. You know what I'm saying? I give them the opportunity to become great. However, so I said, I know what you are intending to say. However, we must avoid. Hold on, let me get it. We must avoid gaslighting people through such blanket statements. And you've been watching this, you know that's one of Trish has been on on YNet7 a few times. That's what she calls it. That's one of her favorite terms for the concept, blanket statements. Think you just gonna cover everything with some shit like that. Think you said something great because you're narrow-minded and you don't see the whole infinity of reality. And you got little cheerleaders, they're being brainwashed, so now the cycle of ignorance is perpetuated. So, I know what you are intending to say. However, we must avoid gaslighting people through such blanket statements. Those who appear negative to normative social influence are often the innovators within society. Meaning you're the one that's gonna bring about change. They're afraid of change. Because they did all this ass kissing or they did whatever they did. They done put 10 years into going to school, paying someone to tell them that they can do what they think they can do when they were 5. They want to make it hard for you. Because of everything they had to go through, because they weren't wise enough to stand up and say, you know what, fuck that, I don't need that shit. We're going to do it this way. Or they didn't see that they're being a part of the oppression against the people in society. So whatever it is, they're a gatekeeper. So gatekeepers want to cater to the next generation of gatekeepers. So those who appear negative to normative social influence are often the innovators within our society. And I said that referring to that original post, I said that statement is selfish. and it costs the community greatly. Yes, it is common to say one will be the average of their 5 closest friends. We've heard those quotes before. However, millionaires become so from solving people's problems. So it's counterproductive to not be considerate of others. Poor workplaces don't innovate because they don't listen to those closest to the problems. You got the little upper management, the little gatekeeper crew, you know what I mean? Thinking that they know everything when the ones down here is seeing what's going on every day, and when they tell them something needs to be changed, they talking about you not an engineer. See, I was the one that said, I don't care if I'm an engineer or not. I'm going to go do this because it's going to make it better for my people that's sitting here doing this shit with me. And after I did that a few times, they didn't care if I was an engineer or not. They came and asked me what the fuck I thought. Because I get shit done. Fuck a title. Poor workplaces don't innovate. Poor leadership in the community don't drive innovation. Because they don't listen to the people that know the solution. They listen to the people that's funding the problems. Anyway, to continue with my response, just because one appears to be in a better position than others don't mean they are a better candidate than the next. It often boils down to one knew someone the other one didn't. Had favor in some way. Not that they were actually better, or, that the person that quote unquote messed up their life or got left behind wouldn't be far better at doing it if they were given the same opportunity. This is why there's a silent war now between the United States and the real America due to the illusion of success. But y'all brains that's liking that type of statements up top, it's too narrow to comprehend such. So in closing of that, I said, how can anyone who has had mentors, see, this is how ignorant people are. How can anyone who's had mentors in their life not see the irony in the original quote? Because the person that was left behind, that life was messed up, apparently, to the people on the other level, used to be you. How could you deny another? When it used to be you. Let me show you. People don't see themselves. Out of all that was said, this is how you know you're dealing with closed-mindedness. When you give a statement like that, offering all of that power, opportunity, and you get a statement like, I know tone doesn't exist in text, but this is the mentality of United States citizen. This is the arrogance Americans have to deal with daily. The first response after all of that opportunity and knowledge was given is, I know exactly what I was intending to say. That's why I said it. And there's people probably in the background saying, yeah, that was so profound. No, they're just closed. They're just so brain dead. My reply is that was the first thing I said. If we go back and replay it, you'll see that the post I said, I know what you're intending to say. That was the first line. This is why people waste their time gaslighting, trying to gaslight you, gaslighting the audience who might be paying attention. They starved. They starve for knowledge and they starve for attention because they don't really offer shit. This is why it's so hard for people to bring the real offering to make contact, because the society is brainwashed to appreciate bullshit. So the reply, that was the first thing I said. All the important offerings came thereafter. The response I got was, important to you. Everyone has an opinion. This is mine. Those statements tell me that you don't know shit. Ain't nobody here on this side talking opinions. We talking straight facts. We talking reality. That wasn't my opinion. It was the truth. And this is what I tell them at the end. Traditional gaslighting statements from the perspective of overlooking the truth. Because that's what that is. It's, I don't know what else to say because he told the truth. So let me try to divide and conquer our characters. Because that's all I got, right? That's the only card I can play. And you see this happen in your communities, in your workplace, in your family, every fucking day. And it's not going to stop until we tell the people, fuck the bullshit. So, traditional gaslighting statements from the perspective of overlooking the truth. To remain in comfort of bliss, I say. I deal with equations, not variables. I don't offer opinions. I provide truth. See, this was never about you. I'm reading what I'm saying to them. It was about a thought process. I'm not shallow. See, the ego gets in the way of progress. Because once, just like the guy the other day that says, oh, are you angry, bro? It's not about you. It's an opportunity for everyone around us to learn and grow and personally develop. Who the fuck is angry? Do you go to your college class, the professor, when he telling you about whatever you studying that you paying $20,000 a class for, and when he gives you on the board and tells you, this is what I want you to know, and da-da-da-da-da-da, now reflect on it, do you raise your hand and say, hey, teacher, are you angry, bro? No. You write the notes down in your book, and you try to pass the test next week. It's not about you. It's about our nation. It's about the current state of our nation. This is about the future generational opportunities you guys are robbing our nation from, or from our nation. Continuing. The reason you added these comments positioning me against you is because you can't deny what I said is true. So just allow the people that need the truth to heal to heal. Like gatekeepers can't even let, you know what I'm saying? That's you can tell gatekeepers. And I'm not, I'm just making that a general statement for certain mindsets. This is why they attack the truth, because they know it go against what they've been telling their people they following. Now, if they're following, wake up one day and say, well, if they're against what's true, then that means that they've been lying to us. It might fuck up their relationships. But you know what? They should have thought about that before they based their relationships on a lie. So don't be mad, because the truth is becoming more social, like we talked about. This is why you got Facebook fact checkers. They trying to do everything they can to discredit the truth. You'll get a fact checker claim, oh, well, no, it didn't actually occur in 19 or 1750. It occurred in 1748. But it's true. You're so busy trying to make it seem like something wrong with the statement so that people will avoid it. If you want to be thorough, base your shit on reality. Then can't nobody fuck with it. Up here crying because the truth makes you a liar. So, just allow the people that need the truth to heal. Or contribute to the conversation without prejudice. I done told people I would rather someone get up there and have a conversation from their perspective. Not talking about my opinion. And talk about the shit. Let's talk about it. Say something where I know exactly. No, I gave you a lot of opportunity. You could have said something. You didn't say nothing because it was the truth. So either come with something that's going to contribute to the conversation without prejudice, not because it's me against you, but because we're personally growing and developing and cultivating our nation, our people, and our future. And if you don't have nothing to contribute to it, then don't say nothing. And if you're upset that the truth is making you look like a liar, then get in tune with the truth so that you can maintain your relationships properly. The truth is coming. The truth is coming worldwide. And it ain't just me. So if y'all got a problem, okay, y'all need to clean up y'all relationships now, because the truth gonna fuck a lot of shit up. We're gonna get to this because I need y'all to know that the people who are at the end of that view being judged like that, being talked about like that, I need you to know you are the chosen ones, so to say. You are the ones that's gonna make it to a level that they can only dream upon, and that's why they want to hold you down as long as possible. That's why they want to gaslight the hell out of you. That's why they want to erode your self-confidence. That's why they don't want to offer you opportunities to become better. Because they trying to hold on to they don't realize that they average. And they trying to hold on to that position as long as possible. So to continue with this so we can get on, I said, and I told him, I said I was grateful for the post in the comment. I gave another comment saying I was grateful for the post. Like I do. I'm grateful that you shared this. It allows me to help, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. Understand things. I'm going to make a video about this shortly. All this is in the comments. So I use Facebook, I use Facebook to observe mental illness in others. And then I can produce content to help heal America. I am grateful for your display. Everybody know what I'm doing. Let's get to this real quick. So this is what I need you guys to know, because you getting attacked daily. I'm sure you done been told certain things so much that you probably feel some way about yourself, and I need you to know that fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. They doing that to you because you gonna be so much greater, and it's not even a matter if they know it or not. The simple fact is what you're going through is preparing you for something that they can't even comprehend. And that's why you need to go through it, because it's molding you into it's part of your personal growth and development. Okay? So chin up, because you grade be something that they'll never be. All right? Now look at this. Because people like, celebrities and popular figures and stuff to help them understand concepts. Here go 30 awful jobs celebrities had before they were famous. Nicki Minaj. All the Barbie minds out there. Was a waitress at Red Lobster. the type of people that make posts like we just talked about. They're the ones that's gonna go in to the Red Lobster and talk shit about the future Nicki Minaj, because she's not Nicki Minaj yet. And I'm not saying if you like her music, support it or not. Just look at what she's achieved, okay? The people that had a mindset that make posts like that, the people that had a mindset that go starring and hearting and thumbs up and posts like that, they're the people that's gonna talk shit about the waitress at Red Lobster that later becomes Nicki Minaj because they saw her as a waitress. Don't want to be around people who messed up their life. All you are a waitress. I am. I mean, this should make you. It should literally make you have to pause the video and like go throw the fuck up. If you got people in your circle and this is what they tell you to view people, and this is what y'all talk, you either are part of the problem or you need to separate from those mindsets. They're becoming obsolete. We ready to end all this shit. Because we got to come together. And all this practice of division and I'm better than you and all, fuck that. Because the Georgia Guidestones says they want to reduce the population of the world to 500 million people from 8 billion. And if you think you're going to make that cut just because you ain't fucking a waitress at Red Lobster, you got another fucking screw loose in your head. So we got to all come together to put ourselves in position so that that's not the reality that's coming down the road. So you either in support of that shit or you working to help everybody come together and build up and make sure they know that they fucking just as powerful as any other motherfucker on the planet. No, I'm not mad. I'm serious. No, I'm not angry. I'm serious. There's a difference between being angry and being serious. Fetty Wap was whopping packages at FedEx. Miley Cyrus picked up bras and panties for her dad, basically. Thrown at her dad at Billy Ray Cyrus. I don't care what you think about their music, their whatever it is they do, right? The equation is look at where they came from to their level of success that they are at now. I'm not saying their success is helping the nation. I'm just saying there was a point in time where you could say they weren't shit. Even if you can say current state, what they doing ain't shit. All right? There's a difference. Imagine what this mindset would have said about Miley Cyrus then. Whoever this guy, Channing Tatum, was a stripper. All right? He had, that's a T-Pain shit. Gabri Sidibe, if that, excuse the pronunciation, worked for a phone sex hotline. So she was on the other end with you. What would you say about her position back then, before she became Precious? Rachel Adams worked at McDonald's. The type of people that make that post are the one that go in and talk shit to the McDonald's employees about how they only a fry cooker. Missing the whole potential of the human being because they so busy focused on the current state of title and status. How many people you know do this? You either supporting it or you need to get the fuck out of that situation. Because shit about to change. Shit is changing. Meghan Markle wrote wedding invitations. Beyonce worked in a hair salon. Johnny Depp was a pen salesman. Naya Rivera was a waitress at Hooters. Tom Cruise was a bellhop. The type of people that support the post like we showed in the beginning are the ones that's going to talk shit to the bellhop about don't damage their Louis Vuitton luggage. Or maybe Coach. Gonna look down upon them because they're a bellhop, missing all of the potential because they never took time to look at the human being. Chase Crawford was a shirtless salesman at Abercrombie and Fitch. That's a crazy company, though. I got stories about that. I used to work, like, when I was, like, 17, 18, 19, I used to work for their, somewhere around there, 15, 16, 17, no. Yeah, 17, 18, 19, somewhere around there. I used to work for their call center. Dope stories. Crazy company, dope stories, though. So, Megan Fox wore a banana suit to promote a smoothie shop. You don't get much more ridicule than being a banana suit wearer. Imagine what that type of mindset would have said to a person like that before, not knowing that they were going to later on become the Megan Fox. Or was it Megan Fox? Yeah, Megan Fox. Here we go, another one. Brad Pitt dressed as a chicken to promote El Pollo Loco in Los Angeles. Nah, but you messed up your life, and all you have going for you is a chicken outfit at El Pollo Loco. You know what I'm saying? Some drunk father probably telling somebody right now in their family, you're gonna be worthless. You're never gonna be nothing. Look at you. You're a chicken promoting El Pollo Loco in Los Angeles. Right? Because they feel so terrible inside about themselves, they would have to destroy that person because they don't know that person. Eva Mendes served hot dogs at a food court. These are the type of people that make these type of posts talk shit about. That they're going to go stay with their little friends while they smoking a cigar. They done messed their life up. They're never going to be nothing. Right? Gwen Stefani worked at a Dairy Queen. Hugh Jackman was a PE teacher. John Hamm was a set dresser for adult films. Madonna was a Dunkin' Donuts cashier. Madonna was a Dunkin' Donuts cashier. No, I'm not angry. I'm serious. This has got to stop. This will stop. John Legend was an accountant. Queen Latifah worked at Burger King, hanging out the drive-through window, talking about UNITY. And you was mad because your fries was cold, talking shit about it. Hey, you'll never be shit. Blah, 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 blah. That's why you work at Burger King. Rihanna was an Army cadet in Barbados. Victoria Beckham, this is the craziest one I saw on the list, was a dancing sperm. Hold on. Hold on. It's going to take me some control here. It says she was a dancing sperm performer on roller skates for a BBC. Barack Obama was a Baskin-Robbins ice cream scooper. Barack Obama was a Baskin-Robbins ice cream scooper. You would have left the Baskin-Robbins talking shit about the future fucking president, even though, I'm American. I know it's the United States that's different, but I'm saying you would have left out a Baskin-Robbins thinking you were better than the future Barack Obama. Like I said, whether it's music or whatever, we're not talking about what they actually did. I'm just talking about you looked at them down here, and then later on in life they were way up here, and you still right here where you've been at the whole fucking time. But we're gonna get into the science of what supports this in a moment. I just needed to give y'all this because I need the people that y'all are bashing to understand how great they could be. How great they really are as long as they believe in themselves. Ellen DeGeneres was an oyster shucker. Matthew McConaughey, if I said that right, was a chicken coop cleaner. You want to talk about people who are in a position where you say, they done messed up their lives, avoid them. How about you help them? How about you offer them some knowledge? If you ain't strong enough to offer them a job, if you ain't strong enough to offer them an opportunity, how about you at least offer them the opportunity to learn something? No, they done messed their life up. Like your life was always perfect. This is the mentality. This is the mental illness we need to rid our society of by any means. Sean Connery was a coffin cleaner. I don't even know what that means. I mean, were they recycling them? That I don't know. I don't know. Gina Davis worked as a mannequin. George Clooney was an insurance salesman. Warren Beatty worked as a rat catcher in DC. I think that's it. Yeah. These are the people who write those type of posts. The people who sit in the back rooms talking that type of shit with their friends. This is what they think of you. You done messed your life up. How many people you go back in their story and they talk about they used to be on drugs and they got clean, however they got clean and they've been doing this and then they go on to do great things. There's nothing you can point out that left you breathing where you could say your life was too messed up to overcome. We too busy trying to damage other people to make us feel better. Why? Why? Because when they get the truth, they're damaged by the truth. So they got to apply that pain to other people. Let's look at this. I got the science for y'all. You know, I ain't just coming with opinions. I come with facts. why specialization can be a downside to in our ever-changing world. Check out this article. You see it here on The Verge. Screenshot it, type it in later. Go over the full facts for yourself of the contents here. I'm going to point out some things. Popular wisdom drives home the importance of a head start. See? These people don't realize they feel like they got a head start. That's what make them feel like they better than you. That's what make them think something wrong with you. Popular wisdom drives home the importance of a head start and specializing early. Not so fast, advised journalist David Epstein. It said after Epstein wrote about the famed 10,000 hours rule in his first book, The Sports Genre, or The Sports Gene, he was invited to debate Malcolm Gladwell, whose book Outliers had brought the rule into the mainstream. To prepare for the debate, Epstein gathered studies that looked at the development of elite athletes and saw that the trend was not early specialization. Rather, in almost every sport, there was a sampling period. And see, I'm bringing out the science here, and I know it's not this part. We're going to get into the economic side, but I want to showcase it to you because we're talking to a variety of people, because the people around you that you need to share this video with and or watch the video with so that they can learn what you already know, they have different interests. So I do a little bit of extra work to connect with people that otherwise wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? All right. So when they seen Queen Latifah at Burger King, they didn't realize that she was going through her sampler in life. She was trying this out. She was trying that out, all while finding herself. Let me continue. Rather, in almost every sport, there was a sampling period where athletes learned about their own abilities and interests. The athletes who delayed specialization were often better than their specialized peers who plateaued at lower levels. Epstein filed this information away until he was asked by Pat Tillman Foundation to give a talk to a group of military veterans. See, he knew the truth. Look at this. I didn't even catch this the first time, but it's amazing. He knew the truth. They said he filed this information away. So he hid the truth from the people because it contradicted what he was known for. Until it became what? Oh, a cha-ching for him. Because I'm sure he probably got a check for this talk. So now that he get ready to get a check, let me pull it out. Let me show you what I discovered. What I've been hiding from you for so long. You see why they don't want to talk to you about the truth and they talk about you. You see why they need to make it a you versus them? Because that competition, the truth can't be won or lost, so they got to hide it. That's why they're hiding you right now. Epstein filed this information away until he was asked by the Pat Tillman Foundation to give a talk to a group of military veterans. These were people who were challenging careers and having doubts that are familiar to many. Whether they were doomed to always be behind because they hadn't stuck to one thing. Epstein became interested in exploring the benefits of being a specialist versus a generalist, and ended up writing Range, Why Generalists Triumph in a Specialized World. So I don't know the difference in time frame between when he came out with this book and was going to go do this debate, right? But there's a gap here, I'm sure, of some period of time where he had this information hidden, and then he came out because he got a check from the Pat Tillman Foundation and said, oh, okay, I'll tell this group of people the truth that I hid from the rest of the people for so long. And then he ended up writing a book about it and made money off of that. The Verge spoke to Epstein about kind versus wicked environments, the importance of doing instead of planning, and the difference between having range and being dilated. I don't even know that word. Dilatin, okay? You see it there. Say it to yourself. All right? I don't know everything. So I'll look it up later. Matter of fact, I'll look it up later. So the thing was, the 10,000 hour rule just gave it more of a common language and was intensified, right? Basically, I really do think this guy here is talking about Tiger Woods, because Tiger Woods was one of those people that were put in place. You know, not when I say put in place, what I mean is from like, you know, the size of his cell phone, he was practicing swinging a golf club. So by 2, he was already on national television. By age 2, he was already on national television as a golf protege. That's kind of like what got the parents thinking about, hey, I should do this with my son or daughter. Get them started really early, so they can have a good shot at being the best. So basically, this article goes in to tell you how that fizzled out and wasn't true in sports. Okay, so when we're judging people in life because they appear to be, climbing and falling, that's the same thing as someone who's changing sports, right? Or like I had here earlier, changing instruments. If you look at this illustration, it shows you that the exceptional musicians, right? The exceptional musicians practice far less hours here to the far left. And this was their first instrument. This was a study done by, the research was done by a world-class music academy. So this was an internal study. All right. Like I said, I don't come with opinions. I show you the sources. Not to say this is the only source of information. You can go find more. They're all saying the same thing. Exceptional musicians spent far less time actually doing it than average ones. In the sports world, it showed that, like, the great ones, the super elite sports people, it had a graph, and it showed how the ones that go and become elite actually practice less until later on in their career, whatever sport it was they were into, on average. The ones that just wound up being average players, they practiced a whole lot, and then they fell off, while the elite people kept climbing because they get burnt out. Or they don't have a wealth of information, knowledge, and experience that allows them to prevail. So if you take this concept and expand it to your life, you will better see the science behind why you are in the position you are in now for a reason. You are jumping around for a reason. You are finding who you are. You are learning from this opportunity something, and then something else from the next opportunity that's totally different. And then you're over here. Like you can see in this graphic, they started off with the violin. I mean, this is just saying first instrument, second instrument, third instrument. They got some pictures there, right? Those instruments could be anything. But what they're saying is the exceptional musicians, the exceptional elite athletes, they did not spend their whole life doing the same thing. Even LeBron James played football. So you substitute the violin for whatever. But what I'm getting at is the violin, the piano, the guitar. But if you look at this graph, what it show you is they did less practicing. They did less. However, it was consistent. You know, that drop from the first instrument time of practice to the third instrument it was still tight. You know what I mean? The average people, the average musicians, they doing all this stuff like we talk about. They want to seem busy. See, when you practice light, when you practice bullshit, you can do a lot of bullshit because it takes little effort. When you practice being exceptional, it's a lot of work, so you don't practice as long, because what it takes to produce a quality 1 minute is a lot more intricate than what it takes to produce a bullshit 1 minute. Let's get back to this. Let's get back to the science. So, one of the quotes I want to show you here is it says, "We learn who we are in practice, not theory." See, so the people that make those quotes, right, they haven't learned who the people are or even who they are, because if they knew either of those, they wouldn't be so narrow-minded. Otherwise, I mean, if you went and you know all that and that's your mentality anyway, then you're kind of just a fucked up individual. And you're definitely on the other side of the fence. Who you working for? Who you with? What else was in here that I wanted to show you? Anything? All right, let's move on. So with this, right, here's a study that shows you want to go to the workplace, you want to go to education, you want to go to your little college degrees, right? The NIBER or NBER working paper series. Breadth versus depth. The timing of specialization in higher education, okay? Like I said, I pull science. I pull the truth. I don't speak opinions. When people start telling me their opinion, they wasted my time. Because that only applies to people like you, and there's 8 billion people in this world. Everybody ain't like you. So when you learn the core stuff, the core values of things, you can then still be yourself using the core knowledge and come up with something unique. See, the gatekeepers want you to remain the same and keep doing the same thing. That's the problem with music. We're going to sample these tracks from 75. You know what I mean? So there's no evolution. There's no innovation. oh, innovation is we can take this old stuff and then make it new. No, it's not new. It's old. It's duplicated. It's rerun. But it sounds good. That's because it's old and subconsciously they're familiar with it, which is the problem with these quotes. People want to make these blanket statement quotes because it's old. It sounds good to the subconscious because they've heard it before. And then they give credit and shine to the person who shared the quote. Like there's some amazing genius and nobody took time to think about what the fuck the quote was saying. Because they're too busy trying to look for a reason to feel good about themselves because they hate what they see in the mirror. All right. So this paper, and again, you look, here's the title. I'll give credit where it's due. Look it up. This is the PDF download. I mean, it didn't cost me a dime. Just giving credit to where credit's due. So this paper examines the trade-off between early and late specialization in the context of higher education. While some educational systems require students to specialize early by choosing a major field of study prior to entering university, others allow students to postpone this choice. This is the paper saying this, it's not me. I developed a model in which individuals, by taking courses in different fields of study, accumulate field-specific skills and receive noisy signals of match quality in these fields. With later specialization, students have more time to learn about match quality in each field, but less time to acquire specific skills once a field is chosen. I derive comparative static predictions between educational regimes with early and late specialization and examine these predictions across British systems of higher education, right? Excuse me. So this was done for the British, based on a British school system compared to the Scottish, I think it was, because the Scottish, or if that's proper, or who it, proper meaning if that's who it was, Scotland. Yeah, England and Scotland. There it goes down at the bottom there. So Scotland has a school system where you don't have to pick what you want to specialize in until later on in life. Like, when compared to England, who was doing it in like early teens, not early teens, but mid-teens or whatever. So, using survey data on 1980 university graduates, I find strong evidence in support of the prediction that individuals who switch to unrelated occupations initially earn lower wages, but less evidence that the cost of switching differs between England and Scotland. Although more switching occurs in England, where students specialize early, higher wage growth among those who switch eliminates the wage difference after several years. Let me translate what this is saying for those that could benefit from this translation. Basically, what they're saying is that when the people chose who they wanted to be early and got busy, just like we saw in the music situation, they got super busy. And the elite people, they didn't really get busy like that, right? They were like, I'm gonna do this. I like this. Okay, cool. That's, you know what I'm saying? The average people were like, twinkle, twinkle, little star. They twinkle, twinkle. They did that 10,000 times. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Twinkle. All right. But it's an average song. It has no value to anything but, anyway, what I'm getting at. I got distracted. So, or it's an average whatever they're producing. It's average. There's no evolution there. There's no innovation there. Yeah, it might sound good. It might look good. But the quality is average. So it blends in with all the other average shit. So what this is saying is the people that chose who they wanted to be early in life got busy in the beginning, they had a sudden increase in what they earned. Well, it makes sense because they went out there, chose something, got a degree early, or got involved early, made the right connections, got into place. They started earning money early, while the other group was still like, I don't know what I want to do yet. Try this. I don't want to do that. So they were trying stuff. Get over here, cancel that. Get over here, cancel this. Right? Meanwhile, this person done been there a few years. They done moved up. They done got more involved, more. If it's a job, they might be higher up. They might be getting more pay after a few raises. They getting a little this, a little that. If it's something they're doing for themselves creatively, they might be, they've networked a little while longer. They got the connections. They're making their buzz within that little world. You know what I mean? And they feeling all good about themselves. And then they talking shit about the people over here who they claim and messed up their life. But then this person over here is switching up. Now they choose something later on in life finally because they done had a lot of experience with a lot of different things. And that whole time that they spent, they've been learning about themselves. And the more they know about themselves, the more they realize who they are. And then once they learn who they are, they realize what their purpose is. And then once they identify what their purpose, their life purpose is, now they can pick something that aligns with their life purpose. And that is why they become so much greater, because they're doing it for purpose, not for profit. See, the other people got the head start, but they didn't know who they were when they chose that shit. And once you get into something, especially if you get in, and however it plays out, you can't just take away a person's success, right? So however it plays out, now they stuck. Most of them are stuck in that position, and they're just doing what got them there. And this is why they don't really like themselves or what they're doing, because they didn't take the time to know themselves or get a broad range of experience to learn anything, and now they stuck having to conform to achieve instead of learning who you were, and then that puts you outside the mold to begin with, and you blow the whole mold away, and that's innovation. This is why they want to make you feel less than, because you are the true power that's going to change the world. They are just the little cogs in the wheels who are keeping the world moving the way it is today. I mean, you can go through here. They got all kinds of data they broke down. I'm telling you, when you really look for what you want, you will find it. This is why I don't have respect for the people that are like, Pasha, you're well, I ain't gonna say I don't have respect for them. We all can take the time to improve. I could become a better speaker, right? And I could master speaking, and I could come up here and be like, and I'm working on that at my own pace. But what I'm working on more is making sure that the information I bring to you is valuable. So if you're in the comments, or if you're in there saying what I could have, should have done it better, the information got to you. And if you didn't get it because of how I said it, it wasn't meant for you to receive at that time. Because I guarantee we could pull your history and you'd have looked at some really poor production shit, but if it was funny or if it was whatever it was that you were interested in at the moment, you made it all the way through that shit. So I don't want to hear it. I'm working on me too. But I'm leaving the Hansel and Gretel crumbs to bring the rest of the world to where we need to meet up at. I'm not telling them that, you'd have messed up your life. I don't even respect the people that, I'll tell you, people that I don't really respect is the people that never been through nothing. I'm not saying we need to all go to jail, right? But what I'm saying is, if you have started something and you just have been climbing, and you've been making it maintain, you ain't been through nothing. I like to see the people who can lose everything. I like to see the people who can be a millionaire, lose it all, and then build that shit back up, because then it wasn't luck. A lot of motherfuckers talking shit about other people don't realize that they were just lucky. And the people they talking about are really skilled. But anyway, the point I'm making is you can scroll through this article. They got equations. They got everything in here. I mean, you want to break it down, they got it all here. It breaks down everything that we just talked about and in detail, and expands it for you and shows you basically the whole situation of why they came to the conclusion that the people who specialize later in life, in most cases, are going to be the overachievers compared to the people who got started early. That's why the gatekeepers want to screen you out of their shit, whether they know the science behind it or not. Here's another article. Want to be a sports star? Don't specialize as a youngster. It's saying the same thing, right? Here goes some more people that you can see were quote unquote late bloomers, okay? And then we're going to get up out of here. So McDonald's, Ray Kroc, he was 52. He was 52. McDonald's started by Ray Kroc when most people his age were retiring. So think about it. What did it say he was? He was a, what was he selling? Did it say it in here? The hell? He was selling something. Oh yeah, milkshake machine salesman. So imagine that. Imagine a person that's thinking today the shit, telling Ray Kroc at 45, you're just a milkshake machine salesman. You're not even doing that well in life. We're going to avoid you because you've messed up your life from our perspective, and we don't want no parts of you around here. This the dude that started McDonald's. Now, I'm not saying, again, it's not to say McDonald's is like doing the greatest thing for the people, but you get what I'm saying with this. So for 51 years of his life, he had the opportunity for someone to be telling him, you ain't never going to be shit. You done messed up your life. Soichiro Honda, founder of Honda Motor Company. His quote is, success represents the 1% of your work which results from the 99% that is called failure. See? Again, the people that never failed at nothing, they ain't never been tested before. The people that done quit, lost it all, left it all behind, and rebuilt anew, they know they have what it takes. And the people hanging on by the thread of who they know and I can't let them in because they might be better than me, they are living in fear. And they doing everything they can to hold on to their little average ass position. So they got to make sure you know, or you feel, that you are less than. And I need you to understand that you are greatness. You are in the slingshot being cocked back. You are that 9mm getting ready to pop that. You know what I'm saying? That 5.56 NATO. You got to pull it back. It's got to be held back first, before it can come and save the day. That's the key. You are going to be the one that saves the day. That's why you're being held back. That's why you're being pulled back. You're being loaded up to save the day. And they know that. They can't make the changes you're going to make in the world because they are stuck with a choice that they chose early in life, or at least got the head start on you. And how they got there, they stuck adhering to an agenda that really doesn't jive with who they say they are. Their actions go against their quote unquote beliefs that they say they are. But they doing it for the check because that's all they know. And they scared to separate from that and go do something else because, oh my God, I would have to start all over and do everything. And they're afraid. So they got to attack you to make sure you feel suppressed or you remain suppressed so that they can keep on being average and hold on to that position, because when you break through, you are going to blow it up. Look, at 15, without any formal education, Honda left home and headed to Tokyo to look for work. At 15, somebody who's sitting there talking to his parents like that boy of yours is gonna be whatever. He done left home at 15. He has no what is he out there doing? He's running the streets. He's not gonna be nothing and da-da-da-da. And he started Honda. Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling. To many people, today many people know her as the woman who created Harry Potter, but what most people don't know is that she went through what she went through prior to reaching stardom. Okay? So at the age of 28, after a very short-lived marriage, a miscarriage, and then becoming a single mother, she was a failure by all common standards. You see this here? So the people talking about avoid the people that messed up their life. Like, you can't improve your shit. Like I said, the reason why they stuck in that mentality telling you messed up your life is because they believe that if they make a mistake, they can't do it again. Because they were lucky. You are real. That's why you being loaded up. It says she was jobless, divorced, and penniless, and with a dependent child. We say son or daughter. She suffered through bouts of depression, eventually signing up for government-assisted welfare. This her right here. I defend people all the time that don't even know me. I don't know them either. But when people start talking around me about people that's on food stamps and shit, I'll be like, yo, you feel that way because it's not you yet. Again, people that never lost it all are afraid to lose anything because they don't know if they can do it again. Look, she suffered through bouts of depression. So I want you to know, all y'all out there that are in this situation, you the next J.R. Rowling, J.K. Rowling. You could be writing the next Harry Potter book right now. You could be the next Queen Latifah if you at Burger King right now. Colonel Sanders, KFC, right? I made the resolve then that I was going to amount to something. Powerful. You see the contrast in that? Imagine someone telling you done messed up your life, and your response is, I made a resolve that I'm going to amount to something. And then you're going to become greater than they ever will have a chance to. Because you believe in you, you know you. Grandma Moses, if I said that right. The claim is that she's one of the most celebrated names in American fine arts and folk arts. And she didn't even pick up a brush until she was well into her late 7th decade. So she didn't even start what she became known for, I guess most, until she was over 70. Originally a big fan of embroidery, but once her arthritis grew too painful for her to hold a needle, she decided to give painting a try in the mid-30s. She was 76 when she cranked out her first canvas, and she lived another 25 years as a painter. Her works have been shown and sold in the United States and abroad and have been marketed on greeting cards and other merchandise. Moses' paintings are among the collections of museums. The Sugaring Off was sold for 1.2 million in 2006. Now it's not. I'm not. She didn't get the 1.2 million, but her work sold for 1.2 million. What she didn't even start doing until she was until she was 76, almost 80 years old. How can you look at someone and not look for the potential in them? Because it's never too late for that human being. Julia Child, the famous author of Mastering the Art of French Cooking. It says she was 49 when her first cookbook, Mastering the Art of French Cooking, was published. 49. She was 49. And then at 51, she gained television fame cooking show. At the age of 69, she became co-founder of American Institute of Wine and Food. In 1984, at the age of 72, she completed the series of 6 videotapes, The Way to Cook. Come on, people. Anybody that's promoting counting you out or has counted you out, I need you to count them out, because they're going to be the ones that don't really get you. They're going to be their purpose is clearly just to hold you back. Because they're afraid. Takichiro, I'm butchering the name, I'm sure, but excuse me. Mori? Alright, you don't have to start early to become the richest man in the world. So he inherited some property from his father, age 55, right? He left academia, they say. Became a real estate investor in 59. By the time he died, I'll skip it here, 1993, he was Forbes' 2-time reigning world's richest man with a net worth of around $13 billion. Okay? And this list goes on a little further. All right? But here's the post. I'm going to go back to the post that started it all. The post was, if you don't want your life to be messed up, don't fool around with those who have messed up their lives. That's all based on perspective. And if we start to look into the human being, you'll find that no one body is better than another body. Right? As far as what you can achieve. The only thing holding us back is ourselves. And what we need to do as a nation of people is we need to get rid of the mindset. I'm not saying we got to go get rid of all the people thinking like this. We need to give them a strong opportunity to learn that this type of thought process is what's destroying our nation, what's divided our people. And we need to let them know that that is no longer going to be allowed to be the popular choice. Thank you all for watching. If you just joined somewhere in the middle, please go back and catch the beginning, because I don't want to, I know I probably went for a long time and it was great content. I appreciate you. Go back to the beginning. Watch the beginning where I review this post and the conversation and show you what led down this path. I'm sure you will enjoy it. Share it with the people that need it, because this has to be removed from the individuals, from the communities. and eventually from our entire nation. I'm Pasha Paro, YNet 7. Thank you for tuning. The replay.